A new discovery has just been made in Egypt that could shed light on one of the world's greatest mysteries, the pyramids. An ancient tomb has been unearthed, revealing new information about the people who built these structures. Who were these people, and how did they construct such impressive monuments? And what secrets does the newly discovered tomb hold? Let's get into it, shall we? The ancient civilization of Egypt has always been a subject of intrigue and fascination for historians and researchers alike. The existence of incredibly large pyramids, awe-inspiring sarcophagi, and cryptic hieroglyphics is proof of the rich history and culture that once thrived in this region. Over the years, various artifacts and relics have been discovered that shed light on the pharaohs and their dynasties, providing us with a clearer picture of what ancient Egypt was really like. Despite the extensive research that has been conducted over the years, there are still many aspects of this civilization that remain a mystery. Scientists and historians continue to unearth new discoveries that add to the rich tapestry of Egyptian history. Some of these findings are so incredible that they leave experts and researchers stunned. Some of these relics are unusual and cannot be explained, making them one of the many unsolved mysteries of ancient Egypt. In this video, we will be showcasing some of the most fascinating and bizarre finds from ancient Egypt that left scientists and researchers in disbelief. From mysterious inscriptions to perplexing artifacts, we'll delve into the unknown and explore the secrets of this ancient civilization. So hold on tight and prepare yourself for a journey into the world of ancient Egypt and its unsolved mysteries. Number 5. Hidden Chamber in the Pyramid of Giza. The Pyramid of Giza is a magnificent construction that has survived over 4,500 years, despite being subjected to the rigors of time. It is one of the most well-known pyramids that has ever been found, due to the fact that people all around the world have been fascinated by its enormous size as well as the historical significance it holds. At one point in time, it was believed that the pyramid reached a height of around 146 meters, and it was constructed in honor of Pharaoh Cheops. However, as more time has gone by and the environment in Egypt has changed, the pyramid has endured some damage. It has lost around 8 meters of its initial height as a result of natural deterioration and the challenging weather conditions that have persisted. In spite of the efforts of researchers and experts, the Pyramid of Giza continues to be shrouded in a great deal of mystery. In 2017, a stunning discovery was revealed regarding this spectacular edifice, despite the fact that for decades, specialists believed that they had discovered everything there was to know about it. Inside the pyramid, a room that had been previously undiscovered was uncovered. It is thought to contain approximately 3 million stone blocks, each of which weighs several tons. It was said that the chamber measured approximately 30 meters deep and that it was situated directly above the Great Gallery. Researchers were able to locate this hitherto unknown room by employing contemporary technology, something that was lacking at the time the pyramid was initially investigated. They were able to map out the interior of the pyramid by using subatomic particles, and the news of this finding immediately spread throughout the world. However, despite the fact that scientists have spent years researching the pyramid and the lands around it, they still do not understand the function of this enormous chamber, which appears to have no practical application. The Pyramid of Giza now has an additional element of mystery thanks to the discovery of this underground room. But many questions still haven't been satisfactorily answered. What was the reasoning behind building such a massive room in the middle of the construction? And what was its function once it was finished? This enigmatic chamber is still a mystery despite the efforts of researchers, and it is probable that additional details may emerge in the years to come. Despite the effort of experts, this chamber is still a mystery. In conclusion, the Pyramid of Giza is not only a historical monument, but also a witness to the extraordinary technical and architectural talents of the ancient Egyptians. This can be seen in the fact that it was constructed so precisely. People will continue to be enthralled by its enduring history and mysterious character for centuries to come, and its secrets will continue to be a source of interest and discussion for many more years. Number 4. Mysterious liquid in a sarcophagus. Discoveries made in Egypt's ancient past have for a very long time enthralled people all around the world. Nevertheless, the sarcophagi are a particularly significant discovery amongst these incredible findings. These grave markers provide a look into the diverse cultural legacy of ancient Egypt, as well as the significance of funeral rites and beliefs about the afterlife to the ancient Egyptians. Recently, an ancient coffin was unearthed from the sands of Egypt and carefully removed from its resting place. The prospect of discovering more about the burial customs that were prevalent during that time period was quite exciting to the researchers. Some people even suggested that the coffin could hold Alexander the Great's remains, which had been missing for a very long time. The moment the specialists opened the casket, however, they were confronted with a gruesome discovery. The remains of Alexander were not among those contained in the coffin. Rather, it held the skeletal remains of 3 other people who had been interred together in a rather tiny chamber. The red liquid that was found within the coffin was a puzzle to the specialist, as the casket had not been sealed very tightly. It was later discovered that the substance was actually sewage that had poured into the coffin over the course of thousands of years. Initially, some people thought it had been placed there on purpose, because the head displayed a wound that appeared to have been caused by an arrow. The skeletal remains were thought to have belonged to a fierce fighter. In spite of the efforts of the researchers, the identities of the individuals in question remained unknown. The finding of this casket sheds light on the complex nature of ancient Egyptian civilization and the significance the Egyptians attached to the afterlife and the rituals associated with their burial practices. Number 3. Heraclean. Despite the fact that there are still certain parts that are inaccessible, archaeological exploration of ancient monuments, such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, has grown much simpler. Technology has progressed to the point where it is now possible for us to see into the pyramid's hitherto secret chambers. Nevertheless, excavating entire cities like Heraclean and Canopus has proven to be a more difficult task than initially anticipated. These cities were previously very significant in Egypt because of the importance they played in the importation of products from the countries that were located nearby. They deteriorated over the course of time and were eventually consumed by the water after falling into disrepair. Despite this, many well-preserved artifacts have been rescued, providing invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian life. For instance, a group of experienced divers unearthed the ruins of a temple buried beneath the water's surface. Inside, they discovered a large number of pottery items and bronze coins, both of which would have held a significant amount of value during that time period. The finding of this temple also shed light on the fact that the city was significantly larger than was once believed. The same was true of the city Canopus, where archaeologists found dozens of coins that had been well preserved, providing more evidence of the city's enormous size. Number 2. Light bulbs from Dendera. The ancient Egyptians lived in a time that was vastly different from our own, and their means of documenting history were limited in comparison to what we have today. As a result, much of the information about their culture and daily lives has been lost to time. However, the Egyptians were determined to ensure that their history would be remembered for as long as possible. They developed a sophisticated writing system known as hieroglyphics that used images of common objects, such as birds and other animals, to tell their story. Although we've come a long way in understanding this writing system, there are still many mysteries surrounding the images that were carved into the walls of their temples. One such image that has caused much speculation is a depiction of a light bulb that seems to predate our modern version. This has led some to believe that extraterrestrial beings may have visited the ancient Egyptians and shared their technology with them. While there is no definitive evidence to support these claims, the temple where these carvings were found showed no signs of soot, indicating that torches may have not been used or were not used frequently in that area. This raises the question of how visitors would have been able to see their surroundings unless they had access to an alternative form of light, such as a light bulb. In recent years, researchers have also discovered that the pyramids may have been able to harness the power of electromagnetic energy. The shape of the pyramids may have been able to reflect electromagnetic waves, potentially allowing the Egyptians to harness this energy for their own use. Some research departments in Russia have even reconstructed models of the pyramids in an attempt to understand this phenomenon. Whether or not the ancient Egyptians were able to use this energy to power things like light bulbs is still a mystery. In conclusion, while we may never know for sure what these drawings and carvings truly mean, the idea of ancient Egyptians having access to advanced technology is an intriguing one. As we continue to learn more about their culture and history, it's exciting to think about the possibilities of what they may have achieved in their time. And finally, number 1, the lost city of Aten. We would be able to visit the ancient Egyptian city of Aten if we travel back in time around 3,400 years. Aten was located in present-day Egypt. The ancient Egyptian god of the sun was honored with the naming of this town, which was located approximately 5 kilometers away from Luxor and bore his name. It was believed that this city had been lost to the ravages of time for a good number of years, but in the year 2020, experts were finally able to locate it. Even though we don't know very much about the town for certain, there is reason to believe that it may have once been the largest metropolis in all of ancient Egypt. This is despite the fact that we don't know very much about the place. There is evidence to suggest that the town would have been at the forefront of Egyptian culture, standing as a town where trading would have taken place, as well as innumerable other acts of business. The evidence suggests that the town would have been at the forefront of Egyptian civilization. In ancient Egypt, Aten would have been at the center of practically every big business transaction that took place. Researchers are hopeful that as they continue to find fresh facts about the settlement, they may learn more about the ancient Egyptian kings and queens who ruled over it. For example, we are quite interested in learning more about Akhenaten and Nefertiti, as well as their unusual and seemingly arbitrary decision to travel to Tel El Armana, particularly in light of the fact that we are aware that Aten would have been destroyed around the same time. There is a possibility that this document contains information that can shed light on what actually took place at the time and the events that ultimately led to the downfall of Aten. In light of the recently found room in the Giza pyramid, what are some of your theories about its purpose? Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications before leaving. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.